I'm Bryn Brown, and I'm excited to share with you some life transits that you need to know about. If you don't already know about them, they will probably, if you pass through one of these, they will probably be the aha, right? Like you'll know that you had them. But we're going to talk about the 3 life transits that you really do need to know about as you're going through them. It will help you to just have some awareness about the theme of that transit and what is going on. So there are a number of different themes that could be present. I'm just going to talk about 3 today, okay? So there are a few that you're going to want to know about, but the most important we're going to cover today are the Saturn return, the Uranus opposition, and your Chiron return. Okay, so these are the most important, at least when we're talking in human design. These come up time and time again. And for any of you watching who have a 6 line in your profile or a lot of 6 line energy throughout your chart. So maybe you're a 4-6 or a 6-2. If you have that 6 line energy, this is especially important for you because this is going to affect you in a bigger, deeper way, these 3 transits, than it might somebody who does not have that 6 line profile. So we'll talk about that at the end. So thank you for those of you joining live. Just say hello in the chat. I'd love to know that you're here. Let me know if you have any questions as we go along, and certainly if you're catching this on #replay, you can drop your questions into the comment box and let me know what's coming up for you. If you find this helpful, if you have any lingering questions, or maybe you go look at your chart later and you find some questions come up, just hit me up. Okay, so the 3 transits. So the first one we're going to talk about is your Saturn return. So your Saturn return happens around the age of 28 to 30. So if you're past that age, you may have recognized this period as a period of transformation. So Saturn is taking us from a place of, I don't want to say immaturity, for lack of a better word, immaturity, right? So this youthful place into a place of maturity. It's actually, in human design, often we'll look at the Saturn return, again, age 28 to 30, as really a movement into adulthood, right? So major life lessons are learned. Saturn has a really lovely way of sort of deconstructing things in your life that aren't working for you. So during that period, there may be career changes, relationship changes, moving right across country. I know for me, I had all of the above. All of the above during my Saturn return. I changed from sales into nonprofit, so there was a major shift there. I went into this sort of relationship that was like all the lessons I needed to learn and relationships in one single relationship, super fun, moved across country, that didn't work out, right? So there was a destruction of sort of this immaturity that I was holding on to in personal relationships that forced me to level up, or gave me the opportunity to level up and to mature in a different way. Moved across country, certainly found myself redirected on a new path. And so the Saturn return, if you haven't experienced that, it doesn't have to be bad or scary. I just want you to hear that. This is really about, again, maturity. So this can be a really lovely blossoming where some of these things that are no longer serving you can simply fall away. If you are a 6 line profile, you have a 6 line in your profile. So if you look at your profile numbers, there's going to be 2 numbers, and it'll say, you know, you're a 4-6 generator, right? Or a 6-2 generator. If you have a 6 line, there's a theme present where these 3 transits that we're talking about are going to become really relevant. So that first Saturn return is your first transit where you go from actually expressing yourself as more of a 3 line energy, which is trial and error. So the 6 line is a role model energy. The 3 is an experiential learner, okay? So the 3 line energy is all about just getting in there. I like to say, you don't just, you're the one that's going to tell everyone how the water is, right? But you don't just dip your toe, you like freaking cannonball. Like that's the 3 line. Like you have to experience something to know if it's right for you. And so that first 30 years, 28 to 30 years before your Saturn return, if you have a 6 line in your profile, you're really experiencing life as more of a 3 line. Okay, so experiential. Then Saturn return hits, so that happens for everyone regardless of your profile. So we move from this place of immaturity, a place of youthfulness, not that you're getting old. I waited my whole life to turn 30. I was so excited, right? But you move into this level of maturity. So then we're in the second phase of life. And this is actually what came up that prompted this entire live is I was looking at a chart this morning for someone who is getting ready to enter into their midlife crisis phase. Okay, so this is actually your Uranus opposition. So Uranus takes 84 years to revolve around the sun, and so halfway is 42 years. So we're looking at the time that Uranus is actually opposed to the placement it was in your birth chart, so 180 degrees. So if you're following along from that perspective, that's how we get that. And you can run calculators online for all of these, by the way: Saturn return, Uranus opposition, and Chiron return. So with the Uranus opposition, this is actually bringing in a shift in your belief system. So beliefs that you have maybe held on to over lifetimes begin to get challenged during this period. So this is called the midlife crisis. There's this stereotypical view of like the white man who divorces his wife and gets a younger girlfriend and buys the sports car and that sort of joke. And this is actually what's happening, and it happens for women as well as for men. So these crazy swings are possible, but again, with awareness, it doesn't have to be some wild ride that you go on. It doesn't have to be some out of control period or a negative thing. It's simply opportunities for your belief systems to be challenged so that you can move in greater alignment with who you actually are. There's a lot of conditioning that happens. There's a lot of conditioning that happens over our lifetime. And you think about your childhood and then your experiences as a teenager and then in your 20s, right? So when we're looking at Uranus opposition, we're between the ages of 38 and 42. Most of the time, most people, by the time they're hitting age 40, they're really getting to know themselves in a deeper way. And a lot of the belief systems that have been in place, whether they learned that growing up or they formed it for themselves, they begin to get challenged, right? And we come into greater acceptance of who we actually truly are and what we actually want. And some of these decisions that we made when we were younger may begin to fall away. So there is a lot to be learned in this period of being in your Uranus opposition. Okay, so hi everyone that's watching live. I'm seeing a couple questions. Feel like I'm hitting 39 in 2 days and my belief structure is crumbling. 100%. And that it's normal. And now with any transit, what we're going to see is it's not exact. So just like, with the moon cycles, it's not that we have a full moon on one day and you only feel the full moon on one day, or an eclipse or something, right? You feel it kind of building and then you feel it waning. The same is true. That's why it's more of a window, this time frame, rather than an actual day, though you can run your chart and see exactly when your Uranus is in opposition or exactly when your Saturn return is hitting. Same for Chiron return. So you can run those, you can just Google that. But yeah, it's gonna start to challenge your belief system. It's gonna start to really give you the opportunities. Life is going to start to give you the opportunities to step into true alignment. And again, having the awareness of what's going on can really ease the discomfort there, because we can stop resisting, oh my gosh, everything's changing, and move into a place of reverence, respect, enthusiasm, dare I say, for these changes that may be happening. So happy early birthday, by the way, Melody. Having that birthday coming in just a couple of days. So yeah, in that crumbling of a belief system with this sort of quote midlife crisis, or your Uranus opposition, you're able to rebuild your life based on belief systems that are truly aligned. So it really is a beautiful, beautiful opportunity. For those of you with the 6th line energy, again, this is, you have moved from phase 1 into phase 2 at age 28, Saturn return, right? Around age 30, we'll just say age 30. Phase 1 is more experiential. We talked about that. Phase 2, this phase that you've been in, is really about being, they call it going onto the roof. So it's more of an observation energy where you're really observing life as it happens and learning through the experiences that you have had in the past or by watching others. It's less of a hands-in, hands-on experiential learning, because there could be a potential for maybe a pulling back out of fear or exhaustion that you have been trial and erroring your whole life, and it's like, I just want to kind of step back and watch the show, and that's perfect for you. So that's between your Saturn return and your Chiron return. So I just wanted to point that out. This Uranus opposition is a little bit separate. Okay, it's a little bit separate, and it's another phase, another transit that you're going through, and everyone's going to experience it. And again, you know, there's a lot of different things that we're looking at. I'm just giving you broad strokes here. So the third life phase that you're going to want to have your eyes on, or at least know about, and for some of you, I understand this is going to feel very far down the road. We're really looking at the Chiron return, and Chiron return happens around the age of 50. So we've now gone through this maturation process with your Saturn return. Then we've gone through this, I don't like calling it a midlife crisis, so I'm just going to call it the Uranus opposition, because to me, these transformations are so deeply powerful and meaningful and help the collective, right? So we're up leveling and raising our vibration, hopefully, with our awareness and with our personal development and our spiritual journeys through these, what can seem like or are often portrayed as challenging times, are actually really beautiful times of growth. So then when we get to our Chiron return around age 50, this is so, so lovely, because this is a real healing of core wounds. So again, this is not to say that none of this can happen outside of these transits. It's, again, just the awareness that the transits are happening for you around these periods of time, so that you can just have some awareness and bring in some grace and really move through it in a powerful way rather than a disempowered way. The Chiron return is about the core wounds and really healing those core wounds, really beginning to understand what those wounds are here for, and the opportunity to, again, allow the lessons to come from that experience. So age 50 is just, again, it's this really, really beautiful blossoming. And I know in Western culture anyway, that aging is not always considered a great thing for women. I think it's an effing fantastic thing for women, because we are embodying our true essence more and more with every year that passes. And it's my genuine hope that younger people and later generations than mine will begin to embody their true soul essence at an earlier age. So with this core wound healing, really, again, the opportunities are coming up, and we're being faced with that around age 50 in a bigger way to really be able to share those lessons with our loved ones. If you have a 6 line in your profile, this is the third and final phase that you're in. So again, phase 1, you're expressing more as a line 3. Phase 2, we're coming onto the roof. Phase 3, you're now stepping down from the roof and coming back in to really embody the role model energy that you bring to this world. So the lived experiences being so powerful for you to lead by example, and people looking and seeking out your wisdom is really coming into full force once you hit your Chiron return. So I always want to remind anyone with a 6 line profile, it's not that that role model energy isn't there your entire life. I know 20 somethings that have 6 line profiles, and I'm looking at them. I know children that have 6 lines in their profiles, and I'm looking at them like, you old soul, where does this come from? Right? So that is 100% there. That's a real thing, and it's going to be with you throughout your life. Again, there's just these major themes that you're going to find coming along with each different phase if you have a 6 line profile. So again, really coming into that wise grandmother, wise old soul spirit in that final phase, and really embodying the role model title. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments, say hello. I appreciate those of you who have been here watching. it's my joy to bring this information to you. And again, this is something that came up just in a conversation this morning that I was having with someone around their chart who felt like they were going through a bit of a, just a transformational period in this next phase. And I looked at their chart, and sure enough, they're 38 years old. And so it was very clear, okay, there's something going on here that's in particular around the Uranus opposition that you might be feeling. And let's bring some attention to that. Again, we can call in some grace, we can bring in the awareness, we can really make these periods as mutative and as transformational as possible when you know what's going on. There's a tremendous amount of power with this knowledge. Of course, that's my one line speaking. I always want to have the knowledge. So I hope this has been enjoyable. If there are any questions or any special requests for human design information that you would like, please make that request. I'm always looking and open to ideas. I've been hearing consistently from you guys that you want more human design stuff. So yes, we're going to be talking a lot about business. This always will help you in your business. Again, the question that came this morning, I'm looking at a Uranus opposition, and the question is around how is this going to affect my business, this phase that I'm in? Well, it's like, okay, well, if all of our beliefs are being challenged, you may see some upheaval in what you believe to be true for your business, or your beliefs around what it means to work and what work looks like for you. So this is going to affect every part of your life, including and especially your business. In particular, if you are a soul-centered entrepreneur and you're really living out your purpose through your work. Okay, Melody says, I'm a 6'2", and realizing that I was trying to avoid the roof was what was burning me the F out. I'm now happily perched. Very good, Melody. What a beautiful lesson. Watch and learn, because all of that is just as good as lived experience for you, and also reflecting back on the first 30 years of your life to see what other lessons can be pulled out of there. So again, I love you guys. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you that come here, that watch this, that catch the replay, that come to my YouTube channel. If you guys, I'm going to drop a bunch of links in the description. If you want a chart reading with me, I'm booking a couple of weeks out right now, but those are available, so you can do a single session. They're 75 minutes. They're recorded. They're freaking awesome. They're so much fun. You're going to learn a ton, and then you're going to have a replay to go back to and watch later. I also am running a special on my referral mastery course right now. It's only $97, you guys, and it gives you everything you need to get a referral campaign going. I'm so freaking passionate about referral campaigns because it works for every single niche, every single human design type. It works for all of that. So if you're just looking for a little bit of support, maybe not ready for a full chart reading, but you need some support to get some revenue going in your business, I definitely recommend you check that out. Again, I'll drop the link. And finally, if you guys haven't followed me on YouTube, I would love a little subscribe and have you come over there and check it out. All these videos go over there, but I also put some exclusive content on there as well. So there's new stuff coming up every week, and I think you'll really enjoy it. People are digging it. So please go there, like, subscribe, share with your friends. I appreciate you all. Okay, my loves, have a wonderful day. And I think I'm going to be out next week on vacation. We're going camping. I don't usually tell people when we're going to be gone, but we're going camping. And so my hairdo is going to be just as crazy for the entire next 7 days or so. So I don't know if I'll have service to be able to go live, but if I get inspired and we have service, I absolutely will. Okay, have a wonderful day, everyone. We'll see you again soon. Bye for now.